Alright. No Kevin today. We're going to be doing it a little bit differently. We're going to be talking about Logan, as we always start this. Evan, go.
One thing I really liked about this movie was, out of the, I want to say, 9 X-Men movies, I know there's the original 3, then the new 3, and then Wolverine's own thing, which he had his own 3. Out of all those movies, I thought this one was a bit more enjoyable. The only flaw that I really want to get it seemed a little long. But but I am a comic person, and I have read many Wolverine comics, and watching it be PG-13 was a little irking, a little lackluster, if I can even use that kind of phrase. But watching him, I know it sounds horrible, watching him get his murder on was... I got to see some of the actual comic in the movie.
Yeah, just getting to see him just slash someone and just blood just spurt, you know?
Yeah.
Oh man, it was so satisfying.
Now it's only serial killers because there was X-Men Origins Wolverine. That movie was an abomination.
Yeah, that thing was a piece of crap.
The game was fun as hell, and you were a blender. Like, you would just be Wolverine, and you would just be tearing limbs off people, and the game was so much more satisfying than the movie because it actually had a plot. It was...
Burn. Alright, so this movie was, like he said, it was pretty long, and it did feel long, and I was entertained the whole time. I even saw it a second time. I really did like the movie. It was just a little bit slow, and
in key parts, there was like a weird roller coaster. It would go up and down, up and down. It didn't keep escalating. It just now I remember I'm watching a movie. Oh, here we go, and I'm watching a movie, and here we go.
And I think for me, the best part of this movie was probably Professor X. Like, everything about him. Like, I don't know, I wish there was just a little bit more Professor X in this movie. Getting the question that I've had answered is like, oh, when someone like Professor X gets old and he starts having, like, problems with his mind and having seizures, what's going to happen? And we found out in this movie what's going to happen, and holy crap. Pretty dangerous.
I thought they were going to use the old man Logan. I'm not going to spoil anyone who hasn't read the comic. Please, if you have time, read the comic. It is definitely worth the read. And like Professor X, Charles Xavier, he went through a majority of the movie thinking it was Logan's fault as to what was going on. And then later on, he realized it was actually his fault.
Yeah, and that part was, like, super sad. But you didn't really get to feel it that much because just all of a sudden, that's when this new villain comes up, the X-24, and he looks like just a little bit younger version of Logan, right?
Well, yeah, he was cloned.
Yeah.
So, of course, he'd be a lot younger.
And I thought that just, like, certain parts like that maybe weren't executed to, like, you know, that well.
Yeah, its execution, I felt as though it was dropping the ball a couple of times. It's nowhere near a perfect movie, but out of the 3 standalone Wolverine movies, this one was by far the best.
For sure. But I think maybe part of why I didn't like it is just I wasn't ready to let go of the character yet, maybe. So I just kept on, like, saying, no, don't go. And just, oh man, this movie was really, like, serious. And
I want to say, can we touch on the atmosphere before we go on from there?
This movie was really serious and pretty sad, man.
It was darker. It was much more grittier. It was a Wolverine that I think, as an audience, we were waiting for, because him being tamed, or as the clean version called it of the video game that I mentioned earlier, it was the caged version where they took out the blood. But I don't know. Like I said, it seemed a little lackluster. It was very, very serious. It was a little darker, even though there was a lot of lighting in the movie. I did enjoy the heartfelt moments that were being had between Logan and Charles. I enjoyed that. Really, I really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think those were the highlights of the film. and along with like the fighting and stuff like that. But I think hard to say.
Hard to say.
Yeah, hard to say. Hard to pinpoint what about this movie it kept me from loving it, because I wanted to love this movie, but I didn't. I just liked it.
I like I said, it was during its execution, as it went from point to point to point, without giving too much of it away. I know what we already did. Going from the next, I want to say not the next shot, but like the next phase arc, it dragged, and that's where it was as if they were saying, "Oh, that was a whole thing by itself. Now let's do a whole new thing by itself." And it was the setup for those moments is what took forever, because one of the hardest things you can do in a superhero movie, at least I think, or at least in almost any movie, the longest part is the very beginning, because the setup takes forever. Yeah. That's why I always thought sequels do a lot better in terms of, because you already know what's going on. Like, for example, when you saw John Wick the first time, the very first John Wick, other than the trailers, I didn't see the trailers, I had no idea what this movie was until someone said, "We gotta go see this movie." I said, "Sure, why not?" The setup took a while, and then it showed you who he was. Yeah. This one being the third one in the standalone, I thought it was trying to remind you what we already knew, especially since this franchise has been around for 17 years, and this is probably Hugh Jackman's 9th time as Wolverine, even though I want to say, I think in First Class he was there for all of 5-10 seconds. Yeah. He's been Wolverine a while. I think he does a great job as Wolverine. I think it's more the studio's fault, the rating, as to why it's been a little low on the standard. Some people are not ready to let go of the character. I will never let go of the character, and since I'm almost positive 20th Century Fox didn't do a whole nother reboot, we're going to get a new Wolverine, and I still think, at least I hope it'll be Carl Urban, because I think he'll do a damn good job.
But just one thing I wanted to say again, not hating on the movie, just wanted, put my 2 cents in there about what kept me from absolutely loving it. I still like the movie, and I did see it again, and I bought it. It's just, I think I just wasn't ready to see this serious of material coming from like Wolverine, I guess. I wasn't ready to let go of the character. Maybe that's what, I just wasn't prepared for it. Maybe that's why I didn't love it.
I walked in, I liked it. As like you, I saw it again. I wanted to see it again just because I don't know what was wrong. Usually I can catch things here and there. I did like how the story was a little more deep. Mm-hmm. They was actually using his real name. Yeah. His name James Howlett, because Logan is his father's name. He took that on for other reasons, but like he was using his name throughout the movie. And when he was in his limo, or the 24 Chrysler, it says your driver is James Howlett. Mm-hmm. When he went to go meet the family on the farm, he called them, him, X-24, X-23, and Charles, he called them the Howletts. Yeah. I actually liked it. It seemed a little more deeper. It seemed as though Wolverine was less hot-headed and more mature for someone who, in the very first X-Men movie, not comics, movie, he started out as a cage fighter. It seemed as though he grew up a bit. Yeah. Granted, it is Old Man Logan, but it seemed like the same character for those other 8 movies. It was refreshing. It was breathtaking to see him beaten, battered, and bruised, and ready to hang up the cowl a little more than just saying, "All right, I'm done."
I feel it. All right, so would you buy it?
I do like X-Men. X-Men is probably one of my favorite comic franchises. A whole number 2 in my heart, because nothing beats Batman. But would I buy it?
Don't leave me hanging here. Nothing beats Batman.
Nothing beats Batman. I would because I'm a fanboy. I at one point I owned all of them. Now after some passing around and never getting back. I own the newest First Class, Apocalypse, and I skipped one, Days of Futures Past.
Alright, I'd buy it, add it to my collection. I own all the X-Men movies, even Wolverine, X-Men Origins Wolverine, as bad as that was.
I owned it too.
Yeah.
I don't know how I didn't get that one back.
While he was talking, I think I was thinking to myself, and I think maybe I did catch what it was. Okay. The last time we see Wolverine is in Days of Future Past. And then we see him here, and there's just a huge jump. Maybe if there was just something in the middle that, like, started him on this path, like, towards, like, you know, not really giving a shit about saving the day anymore, then maybe I would have been more open to this story. I guess maybe just going into this and then he's just like back to being a dick again, a huge dick. Maybe that was just jarring for me, I guess.
I think he did, not counting the X-Men one, more along his standalones. He did progress a little bit because he was definitely a different character in the Wolverine.
Yeah.
No matter how kind of cheesy that was. Still enjoyed it.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's our mini movie chat.
Mini movie chat.
See you next time.